Thank you. I was not born here. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. But I was born in Atlanta, Georgia during the 70s and 80s where it wasn't Chocolate City. It was more like, what you doing around here, boy? That was messed up. And at 14 years old, I moved to Fayette County, Georgia, and we were the first black family to move into this neighborhood. And there was this old white guy that was so upset that he would walk up and down the street yelling, "Niggers are gonna lower the level of education in our neighborhood." And he sat on his front porch with a sign which read, "Go home, Niger." Now, who the hell is Niger? And what did Niger do to piss this white dude off so bad? I wanted to find Niger and get him out of Fayetteville, you know? So what they did next was they got rid of him. I don't know, he died or something. And they changed the names of the subdivisions next to us to something really racist. Where I lived was called the Ponderosa. The subdivision next to me was called Cottonwood Plantation. What self-respecting black person is gonna move into a neighborhood called Cottonwood Plantation? Like, yo dog, I'm having a house party. Well, brother, where is that? All right, man, you take George 85, you make a left into Cottonwood Plantation. Make a right on Coons Hut Court. Make a left on Watermelon Lane and another left on Lynchburg Boulevard. My house is the last one on the block, but it's a cul-de-sac, so if you miss it, just keep going around and around and around. And if you see a bonfire in my front yard, run! That's what would happen, you know. And it's messed up because, you know, I grew up in such a multicultural world, even growing up in the South. I went to private school, which was messed up because I had to fit into certain social situations. Because I ended up playing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, man. D&D is the shiznit, I will tell you that. Dungeons and Dragons was great. I sat back there, I studied the game, I learned it so far. I wanted to reach the point of Dungeons Master, and I did. Not so much because I liked the game, I just wanted all my white friends to call me Master. And it was great, you know, it'd sit back there and like, okay, we're gonna play the game. It's like, come on, Ken, man, you know, let's play the game. It's like, Dungeon Master Ken, I ain't calling it that, okay? 15 hit points, your wooden if dies, ha ha! Don't hate the role player, hate the game, player. It was messed up, man. But I've constantly spent my life around people of different ethnicities, and it's great. I've got a friend of mine who's a comic. He happens to be Mexican, and he's not that funny. No, he personally is not that funny. And one time he told a funny joke, you know, and I said, yo, man, you're a funny Mexican. He looks at me, he's like, yo, Holmes, I'm Mayan. Like, calm down, dude. It's like, no, I'm Mayan. Respect that, man. I'm Mayan. I said, okay, you're so Mayan, right? Speak it. Okay? I said, speak Mayan. He said, why don't you speak African? It's like, I don't know what part of Africa I came from. My people did not immigrate here. We were imported. All I know is that I'm African, Native American, Irish, and Chinese. That's my bloodline, and I know that because I do stereotypical things. I've always been athletic, that's the African part. I care about the environment, that's the Native American part. I've always been able to hold the liquor, that's the Irish part, and I'm kind of small in certain areas, that's the Chinese part. Oh no, compared to other Chinese people, I'm huge, but I guess compared to other brothers, I don't measure up. Because every time I show it to a white girl, she goes, oh, I think I can handle that. And that makes me think that she can handle me, and that pisses me off. The Irish part wants to beat her up. The African part wants to lynch her. The Native American part wants to scalp her. And the Chinese part wants to paint her kids' toys with lead paint. It's just been rough, man, because I'm a big nerd and I try and hide it. It's weird because my ex-fiance, and I say ex for a reason, I got angry at her one time and I tried to do a Vulcan mind meld with her to find out what her problem was, and I found out that she wanted to sleep with other women. And all I could say was, me too. But the weird thing about being a nerd is that the first woman that turns you on and you know it's for a sexual reason, you obsess about that. And for me, that was a problem because that happened to be Princess Leia. I didn't realize I had this fetish until I was going to college at NYU, and there was this beautiful brunette who worked at this coffee shop, and I was running late to class one day, and I said, hey, Jessica, do you have any cinnamon rolls? And she went in the back and came back and said, Ken, only have 2 The force is strong within you, young Cosby. It was messed up. Our whole physical relationship was all Star Wars based. I always wanted to be Lando Calrissian because he was Billy D. Williams, you know, with the Colt 45. She didn't like that. She only got excited when I made Wookiee love to her. Just sit back in the room going, oh man, she hated that stuff, man. But it's weird now because I love somebody now and it's weird. Oh, don't worry, she didn't love me back. No, it's okay. Because I look like this and it's weird because my mom freaks out about the way that I am. I'm 38 years old, never been married, don't have any kids, so my mom likes to call me by my favorite nickname for me. I'm Mama's Little Homosexual. And it's not because I can't complete the deed. It's just the fact that all I've been doing recently is going to weddings. And it's not the fact that I don't think that weddings are good. I just think that I'm allergic to weddings. Every time I get a wedding invitation, I start to break out in hives, and I think my throat's going to go into anaphylactic shock. And the only thing that stops that allergic reaction is if I eat a single bridesmaid. But you have to understand, it's great because right now, you know, the girl that I love, she's older than me, which is great. Oh, it's great because I feel like I'm cougar meat. But as a black man, that's kind of weird because I know that if I start living healthy and she stays the way that she is, that we'll both die within a week with each other, and that's commitment. It's amazing. We haven't done the deed yet because I'm worried that somebody's going to break a hip. No, not her. She works that all the time. I'm talking about me. I got winded lifting a stack of papers from here to here. Had to eat a sandwich, take a nap, watch some Oprah. It hurt, man. But the one thing that you have to understand is if you're going to get into a relationship with somebody, you need to know what their fears are. That's the way that a man can win any relationship. And then my last girlfriend, she had a fear of clowns. So whenever there was an argument, I ran into the bathroom, sat back there, put on pancake makeup, and came out going, "Isn't it rich? Aren't we a pair?" Freaked her out, won every argument, man. I felt like I was the man. Until one day she decided to run into the restroom and dress up as an engagement ring during an arrangement, and I had to get out of there. But the key thing that you have to understand is that love the person that you're with, and realize that women rule the world, and they will kick your butt if you don't understand that. It's that simple. And the thing about it is I made a mistake, and my girl, she caught me wrong. She caught me dead wrong. And we were about to say that we were about to go to sleep, and we promised never to go to sleep angry. And I knew that I had to get her back. So right before I went to sleep, I said, "I was watching Law and Order last night, and I think I can get away with it." She woke up next to me. I cooked her breakfast. So the next morning, I cooked everything. It was really nice, and I felt good because she was panicking. And then I said I had to apologize to her. So then the next day, you know, we made passionate love, made up. I woke up the next morning. She cooked breakfast for me. And I ate her eggs Benedict, drank the coffee, and all of a sudden I looked up and my throat was starting to swell and my eyes started to bug out, and I saw the room switching around differently. And as she walked by me as she was going to work, she whispered to me, "I was watching CSI last night and I just got away with it." I'm Ken Cosby. Thanks for taking this ride with me.